Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and I would like to welcome you to a review, I guess, of the new movie Founders Day, this week's mystery movie night at the Regal selection. Already in the chat, we have Lady Mist, the Emoji Queen. Thank you. I have a guest backstage who has a few choice words to say about this movie. So, without further ado, I am going to bring her on. Ladies and gentlemen, Cyns Corner.
Hello. Yes, I was thinking about you often while I was watching this, because I think we were chatting a little bit on Twitter right before. You were there, I was there, and so yeah, when it started, I was like, oh boy, I wonder what he thinks. I kind of want to talk to him about this.
Right. As did I. And I was holding back texting you throughout this movie. I didn't want to. I just.
Well, it's a good thing you
Ah.
did, because I was sitting next. There's this lady that I sit next to now every time, because we just kind
Mm-hmm.
of gotten to know each other over the course of these movies, and so she's my Mystery Movie Monday buddy, and I do take notes. I take notes on my phone when I watch a movie, but I didn't this time because I didn't feel like it was noteworthy at all.
No.
I mean,
Um.
as far as taking notes. So,
Oh.
but yeah.
Okay. First things first. Let me attempt to explain the plot of Founders Day.
I think you should
Uh,
sum it up by what you said to me when I first popped on to your StreamYard.
this is It's a Wonderful Knife to election year, and it's very similar in plot structure.
Hey, Drew.
Um, and hello, Drew. And it's similar in plot structure. Um,
It did remind
it's
me.
even more
Definitely.
batshit insane, if that's possible, and we'll go into that. Um, I was also reminded a lot of Thanksgiving, actually, because it's
I
kind of very
was too.
similar in look.
Yes. Yes, I
Um,
was too. When I saw it on my Regal app,
mhm.
I was like, wow, this reminds me. Hi, Lady Mist. This reminds me of Thanksgiving. And then
Mhm.
it started playing. I was like, wow, this has It's a Wonderful Knife vibes. I do have thoughts about it, which might surprise you. I mean, I'm not super, on board with this movie, but I do have some other thoughts about it. So proceed. Sorry, go ahead. You can
Okay.
take it
But
away.
the plot of the film is you have a town, Fairwood, I believe is the name,
Yeah. Yeah,
something like
Fairwood.
that. You
I
have the
don't know
town of
what state.
Fairwood, and they shot it in Connecticut, so I'm
Okay.
just gonna say it's Connecticut,
Okay.
just for the sake of them. It's obviously somewhere in the Northeast, but or did I get that backwards? Doesn't matter. Anyway,
Yeah, okay.
because this movie wouldn't know either, to be honest. Anyway, you have the town of Fairwood, where there is this very contentious
Election.
upcoming election,
Mm-hmm.
mayoral election, and it has the entire town, on
At
the
each other's
edge,
throats.
on each other's throats. It's on the
Yeah.
edge of a riot almost,
Yeah.
and the daughter of one of the mayoral candidates is murdered,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of gets the ball rolling. And like I said, it very much has It's a Wonderful Knife vibes to
Yes.
it, in tone and story and plot structure. And those of you who remember both Sin's or mine's thoughts on that movie, we were not fans.
I no, no,
Um,
I was scathing in my review for it.
yeah, and mine wasn't all that much better. I took it easy on the leads of that film, kind of because I did like them, but that was pretty much it. And
Mm.
this is a movie that I refer to as a kitchen sink movie, because it just throws everything at you but the kitchen sink. And
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
because this is a movie that it turns out that there are multiple characters who have
Motivations.
multiple motivations and agendas.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, one of those I figured out in the first 5 minutes.
So, in the very beginning,
Hmm.
when a certain thing happened,
Hmm.
I was suspicious right away because of how it was filmed, because of how
Hmm.
because of the perspective you have as the audience member. So I was suspicious, and I said to the woman seated next to me later on as things were going and they were revealing more about that particular, like, I'm trying to be vague, like certain things not showing up, not being found afterwards.
Hmm.
And I was thinking to myself, I bet, oh my gosh, this is hard to try to be vague. I just
We are,
suspected,
yeah,
I suspected um, s- something about this particular individual.
incident, yeah, and it's
In
just something that's very
Yes, and so
like.
when
Hmm.
a reveal happened, that didn't surprise me. There were other
Hmm.
reveals, or plot twisty situational things that happened that did surprise me. I was like, oh, okay. There were a lot of times that things went in directions I didn't predict, which I actually liked about that,
Hmm.
to be honest. And while it does feel like it's a wonderful knife, I honestly do feel like the writing is a little bit better because they try to at least have a bit more of a cohesive sort of plot.
Hmm.
But where this movie suffers, well, this movie for me suffers from the typical horror tropey stuff.
Yeah,
The people
there.
going into scary places when they think there's something or somebody there. It's so old at this point, it's annoying. And then I was thinking, did you get the feel that this was also supposed to be a bit of a comedy?
In the second half,
There
yes,
were
and that's,
people laughing out loud
yeah,
at some of
agreed.
the
And it
stuff.
and in my theater, do it. And I have to say it up front. During the first hour of the film, a good third walked out.
Oh, wow. I think maybe two or three walked out of mine, but most of the
Hmm.
people stayed there, as opposed to It's a Wonderful Knife, where I think half of them left.
Hmm.
So I guess, eh, I don't know. I guess they had a better time with this one.
Yeah, because
Um,
with the crowd that I was with, even though it was, as I said, it was beginning to dwindle there, especially in that first half. Even I considered getting up and walking out a couple of
oh,
times.
oh,
Um, and but there was a point in the movie where people did start laughing genuinely, not just laughing at it as, oh my god, this is awful, genuinely laughing at some of what was going on. And I'm like, okay, well, okay, they're enjoying it.
well, it
And
did
hell
seem
else a big Al.
comedic. It
It
did
did.
it not seem comedic, like the politician people, the way they were acting, and then
It it
there were these two characters that were kissing, and the way they were kissing and making out was just so over the top and ridiculous.
it
It
is.
had to
Yeah.
have been intentionally comedic. It had to have been. So I was thinking, well,
You know.
maybe this is like a black comedy or something, because it was just.
Because that's what I was thinking. This is a movie that radically changes tones
Yeah, it
halfway
does,
through.
doesn't it? Yeah, it shifts.
Because
There's all this
the first
weird.
half the first half is like this deadly serious,
Mm-hmm.
this town's gonna burn, kind of a movie.
Yeah.
And is somebody gonna come out here and be the adult and stop? And there is a character in this movie that is quote unquote the adult.
Mm-hmm.
And that character even turns out to have some ulterior motives as well.
And I was
um
suspicious as well.
yeah, i was
Mostly
i was
because
not at all surprised.
okay, yeah, okay. Mostly because
Yeah.
it's a face I recognize, and I figured,
Yeah.
okay, and also the way the character was written, I was like,
Hmm.
okay, well then it's obviously there's going to be a reveal. You know, we're going to find out more about motivations of this particular person. So
Yeah.
that
And
didn't surprise me. And then
yeah,
the
there
other
was
thing didn't surprise me, but there were maybe two others that did.
mm, because unlike Thanksgiving, where we had an issue about shall we say teleportation,
Uh-huh.
um,
Yeah.
there is something similar here, but it is explained way better and makes way more sense.
Yes. Agreed.
And
I did like that about it. And to
I
be
did too.
honest,
Yeah, to be
yeah,
honest, yeah.
the ending, when you
Mm-hmm.
see how things wrapped up, I it didn't necessarily surprise me, but I did appreciate that we saw some complexity there with one of the characters and how they felt. In the
Mm-hmm.
very last shot, you could tell how they felt about the way things had ended up. So
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated what they were going for, but the overuse of the horror tropey stuff was annoying. That did annoy me. The
Mm-hmm.
kills were crazy though.
They were. It just I'm it's hard to reconcile though, because
Yeah.
you have the first half of the movie that's almost like a horror movie take on something like, Ides of March, or Michael Clayton, or something along those
Mm,
lines. And that's really a direction they could have gone with it, and that would have really been interesting. To
yeah.
have, like a political thriller along those lines that you know wasn't necessarily overt with the horror tropes. And I don't know how that would have gone, or if there's anybody in Hollywood that could have pulled that off. But I'm like, that's what they're going for. That's what I thought
Oh.
in the first half. And then,
Oh.
they this is a
Some
movie
of
I
the
don't know how to feel about it, because there are
Yeah,
things that work, but there's a lot that doesn't.
right.
you know.
Okay, so some of the stuff was really over the top. The way some characters were acting was
Mm-hmm.
like the one dude who threw the beer bottle down and it smashed, and then he told the chick to clean it up. Like the way he
Mm-hmm.
played his part, the way his character was written was way over the top and
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. Also, the acting wasn't great with a lot of the characters. Some characters were
No.
okay, but the acting was just like, oh, it was cringe. So it suffered from that. Over the top characters, the tonal shifts, and because like you said, starts off this way, and then it almost gets a little comedic with the way some of the characters are acting, and you're like, okay, is this a black
Mm-hmm.
comedy horror? Like what's going on with
Right.
this? And then it takes a somber shift again, where it's playing the song and doing the slow mo when there's been another murder and it's showing the people, and I was like, okay, now we've got a tone shift, and it did a little bit more wonky and crazy. Yeah, it almost acted like it didn't know what it wanted to go for and be.
Yeah. It couldn't decide on tone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think in the end that's what hurts it, because it was reminding me of movies that I wasn't I either wasn't necessarily a fan of, or I had issues with. And
Yeah.
so and the killer's motives, do make sense
Agreed. I
in
like.
around yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of like that's an interesting idea,
Mm-hmm.
and it is it I don't want to say it's foreshadowed, because I don't know how many people caught it, but
Okay.
there's something that there's a scene that seems throwaway. There's an exchange of dialogue that seems throwaway at that
Mm-hmm.
time, but it comes up later, and it has
Yes.
this whole new meaning to it.
Yeah. I do like
And
how
I
they
thought
tied that
that was
stuff up.
good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I like how they also went back and they showed other things that had transpired that you as the audience hadn't seen. And they're
Hmm.
they're basically connecting the dots for you, holding your hand, which in a sense I do like, because if they hadn't, I would be questioning like, well, what about this person? And how could this person do thus and so and be here because they were, but basically they just laid it out and they told you, well, this was the situation. This was what was going on that you didn't see behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So I did like that they did that. But
Right.
it's not. I mean, I can say, oh my gosh, Tifa.
It's okay.
She does it. She hates my son.
I was just coming to ask, like,
I am live streaming.
when did we get this?
I have no idea. I'm live streaming, Arturo.
It's like, hello, Arturo. It's all good.
He says it. I was getting ready to say. Oh, I was going to say that my thoughts were. It is better than. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
That's fine. It's okay.
I was thinking to myself as I was walking out of the theater, and I said to the lady, I said, "Well, it is better than It's a Wonderful Knife." That's not necessarily saying much, though.
No, but because it does have that long opening, like It's a Wonderful Knife did, and that's almost like a short film in itself.
Yeah.
And we're trying not. This is a non-spoiler review here, folks. So we're trying to be careful.
If you want to go see it,
in case someone does want to go see it. Like I said, there are people who were in the audience that I was in. There were people who were clearly enjoying it. But
yeah.
it does take you a while to get there, and because it's kind of weird, because it seems like with me anymore, most movies start to lose me around the 75-minute mark.
Oh.
And this is a movie that was finally starting to get me back at that point.
Time. That's interesting. So it's like a complete reverse for
backwards.
You. Yeah.
Because
I guess that's good though. I mean,
it is.
Would you? I mean, I guess it's better to end up with the movie winning you over as it goes along, as opposed to losing you as it goes along.
Yeah. Yes, like and don't get me wrong, I am not entirely. I am not recommending this movie, but at the same time, if you like
dumb slashers, I mean, that attempt to be a little bit. Well written.
It does.
Maybe you'll like it.
It attempts, yeah. There are a couple of good performances in it.
Mm-hmm.
There is an actor in this who's a character actor that has been around for decades at this point. Who's very good. This is an actor who's very good in everything. William Ross.
Who is
and
that?
He plays Mr. Jackson.
The teacher guy?
He's the teacher, yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen him.
He's great in everything he's in.
Yeah.
And he's also a co-producer on this movie as well.
Oh,
and I noticed in the credits. And so is the woman who plays the mayor. So they were, I guess this was their baby, I guess, up to a point.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah. So, and the guy who's the deputy mayor is also one of the writers, I think, as well. So this is one of those movies where a lot of the actors are also, involved behind the scenes.
Involved in the production. Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe they came in as it's.
Maybe next week's will be better.
Yeah, and hello, Connie Clary. Yeah, there are two mystery movie nights in a row coming up.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there.
Definitely.
I'm sorry I missed the boys in the boat. The last time. Yeah.
Decent film, that one.
I'm still watching that one. I've got about 45 minutes left.
Oh, so you're getting up towards the
they're getting
Olympic
ready
third act then.
Yeah, they haven't gotten there yet, but I've just been taking my time watching it a little bit every night because I have a screener. So I've just been doing that. It's good. I don't think it's as good as another true story I recently saw called Society of the Snow. It doesn't have that sort of impact, but then they're two totally different movies.
They are.
So.
But yeah, as far as this is concerned, I gotta give it points for trying.
Exactly. I agree.
It has a couple of performances in it that I did like. I like I said, William Russ is, I think he's kind of like the saving grace of this thing, and
Mhm.
a very very layered character too. There's a lot going on with him,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I'm kind of concerned about him though, because he kind of he kind of I don't know if it was just me, but it kind of play if it's something that's actually physically going on with
With
him,
his
or if
arm?
it's just the way he chose to play the character, like it's a character quirk. But it
Like with
looked
his
like,
arm?
yeah, like he
I don't
was,
remember noticing that about him before. So I don't
yeah,
I honestly, yeah, I saw that and I know his
that
face. I've seen him in things before. So I was like, does
that
he have
worried me.
something? Yeah,
Yeah, like
I
is it some
really
kind
don't
of
know.
palsy or a stroke or
Oh,
something?
it's
You know,
possible. Come here.
um, Big L says William Russ from Boy Meets World. Yes,
So this is
yes,
something that I
he
feel like
was.
I want to look up
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
I feel like that's new. I honestly do.
it
Unless
is.
if it was something that's been going on with him that he just was able to keep hidden. But I'm like, I don't remember this with
I
him.
was, yeah, I was kind of concerned looking at him. Um, kind of the same way, because he's not a young guy anymore. He's not a spring
No.
chicken. He's not a kid.
Yeah.
Um, and you get older and stuff happens. So I don't know if it was something that's physically that's something that he physically has to deal with, or if it's just something that is a character that was written, or just something that he chose to do. I don't
It's
know.
it's
Um,
possible, but it looked like it was part of him.
yeah,
That's what it seemed to me.
yeah. Um,
So
and that kind of worries me about Bruce Dern as well, because I see him in a lot of movies now where he's either sitting down
hmm.
or laying down through the entire
Yeah,
performance,
like
and I'm
Once
like,
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was another
Yeah.
one. All that Mr. No, the Stephen King thing, that was on DirecTV with Brendan Gleeson. He's in that in the second season.
Oh,
And
I don't think I've seen that.
um, it was the Mr. Mercedes.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen that.
That, yeah. Um, he's in that, and he's in like the first episode of season 2, and he was laying down for that.
Hmm.
Um, so there's some of
Yeah,
these older
that's
actors that I'm kind of concerned about now,
yeah.
because and now I didn't want to go too far into that, but it's just these little things that I'm
Shh.
noticing, and it's because I'm getting older, and I'm looking out for you know signs for physical ailments and stuff, because this is part of life. But anyway, yeah, it's just like either this is something that's actually going on with him, or
I'm
it was
gonna look it
something that
up.
was that was written, and he just did a damn good job with it.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
gonna look it up.
yeah,
I would be surprised if it was something that was part of the character,
mm,
but I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah, I
noticed it.
mean, you know, um, I think that's really in the end kind of my chief issue with it was um the shifts in tone,
Mm-hmm.
um
The tropes, the cliche,
the
this
the
ugh.
the
Like, come
yeah.
on. What why are you gonna go in this like there's a scene where the character sees writing on the door and then
Hmm.
proceeds to go into the creepy place with all these creepy messages. I mean, come on. Who realistically does this stuff? That has
Yeah,
become
it's like,
such a thing with
yeah,
horror and it is really annoying.
it's like, look under the bed. I go,
It,
don't do that.
I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm out of here.
No,
So yeah, and you know what was funny? It was so funny because the lady that the Mystery Movie Monday lady that's my buddy. She's a black
Mm-hmm.
woman. And in
Mm-hmm.
the one of the earlier crazy scenes where the character's like, "Why are you going in the scary movie theater?" You know, and it was a white girl, and she said something like, "Well, if that were my people, we'd be going out the exit door." You know, and
Yeah.
then but then with the other scene that I was just talking about, she was a black girl. She was doing
Yeah.
the same. It was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
It was funny.
Um,
Oh my
because,
gosh.
and that's one of the things that reminded me of Thanksgiving, because it looks like the same movie theater.
Gosh, I don't remember the movie theater in Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it
I
looks
don't
the
even
same.
remember.
Yeah.
The town definitely
Or
reminded me of Thanksgiving.
maybe
The town
the
did.
or maybe it was the movie theater and It's a Wonderful Life that I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, that's probably it. Because
Mm.
when the character walked
They're all,
into the movie
they're
theater,
melding together.
my buddy said something about, "Oh, this is like It's a Wonderful Knife." So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think that's what you're thinking of. Because like you said, there's sort of bits of, Thanksgiving and It's a Wonderful Knife that kind of
Hmm.
were reminded of when we saw this movie.
And Lady V
So,
says the trailer for this one seems
oh,
so good.
haven't even seen that
I didn't
trailer.
see a trailer. I
Me
went into
either.
this. I went into this blind. I knew it was
Same.
a horror movie,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I knew about it. So
Yeah.
and welcome to our film Founders Day. And
Yeah, because the people were at the beginning introducing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, not Amanda Seyfried. I hope you make the trip. She doesn't. But you know, the kind of movie it is. I went in going, okay, we're probably going to lose most of these people, and we do.
We lost
But
several, and there were some. I think fans of just slasher horror will probably like a lot of the stuff in here because the kills were pretty innovative and they looked pretty realistic.
oh yeah.
So kudos to them for that.
He says it may be the current teen horror trend that ruined it a bit. I almost didn't see Five Nights at Freddy's for the same reason.
No, I liked Five Nights at Freddy's more than
I
this.
did too. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and again, that's not a movie that's anything especially brilliant. I thought Willy's Wonderland was the same movie done
I
better.
want to see that. I want to see that. That's
Yeah.
Nick Cage, right?
It is.
I want to see that film. I've heard about
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, this is this one's probably a wait for streaming for me.
I agree.
You know.
I agree.
You
I'm
know.
glad it was Mystery Movie Monday and that I have a Regal membership and so I didn't have to pay for it. And even if
Yeah.
I had, it was
I would.
only $1, I think.
Yeah, it
tonight.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
Which
It's all right.
probably explained why there were far more people. But
I think so, and the lady that that I hang with,
mhm.
she was saying, well, because there were a lot of people actually in the theater, and she said, well, if this
Mhm.
ends up being a stinker, they're not going to be incentivized to come back to watch more Mystery Movie Mondays. So most of them did stay put. So maybe they liked it enough that maybe they'll return. I don't know.
Mhm.
They'll hang in there for more. We'll see. But yeah, not a ton to say, but I mean, I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't feel like doing a full-on review. I'm probably just going to record a little audio short, and that will be the extent of it, plus this
Mhm.
chat with you for me.
Right, because
Because they're
there's
not.
just not really a whole lot to say.
Mm-mm. No.
It's like I said, despite the fact that there are some good performances, there's a couple of really out of place, over the top performances, and then there are just
Yes.
some plain bad acting in places too.
Yes.
Um, it starts out as this kind of dark, kind of political mystery thriller, and then it kind of turns into this kind of dark comedy wannabe,
Mm-hmm.
satirical, and Hollywood cannot write satire.
Yep.
And I think that's what they were going for here. and it is not the sum of its parts. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
But I'll
unfortunately.
give it points. I'll give it points for trying.
For trying, for
It's,
sure, yeah. And being
you know,
better than It's a Wonderful Knife,
it's
yes.
it's it's better than It's a Wonderful Knife, but not as good as Thanksgiving
Agreed.
is where I would put it.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. It
so
is somewhere in the middle. So
if
if they
it,
spoiled all the good, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm
um,
looking at the comments.
would you get a strike for playing the trailer?
Potentially,
If we played it without the sound,
you can still get.
maybe, but I don't want to
Yeah.
risk it. I'd like to know if they spoiled all of the good parts with it. Uh, if they had somebody who is really good at editing together trailers and who could keep everything that happens in the last, say, 40 minutes out of the trailer, then they wouldn't have spoiled anything. But
Yeah, they definitely show too
yeah,
much with a lot of trailers.
they do show too much with too many trailers. There was I don't remember which movie it was. They pretty much had the entire movie in the trailer. They gave
Uh
65 was a
oh,
terrible trailer because
six.
it gave away the entire movie.
Another one was that one where the girl. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember the name of it. It was came out last year, and it was this
Mhm.
girl that was like romantically involved with this vampire guy. It took place in England, and she goes to like his place and finds out that like they're just a bunch of
Oh yeah,
vampires. Gosh, they
I
gave it
don't
everything away. I can't remember the name of it,
I don't remember either.
but you
It
know what
was
I'm
like,
talking about.
yeah, it was like last January, I think. It was like a
It
January or
was.
February movie. It was like, yeah, really early on in the year.
I don't remember,
I
to
don't
tell you the
remember
truth.
either. I didn't see it.
Or maybe it was like 2021 and it's been that long ago and I forgot. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But that
No,
trailer told you everything, and then it was
yeah, I
ridiculous.
figured. Yeah. Um,
So
but yeah, I'll have to go back and look at the trailer for this again, and well, for not again, for the
for the
first time
first
for
time,
me.
yeah, yeah, I haven't.
I feel like this movie's kind of a feature length trailer in a way. Um, um, I mean, not in a Rebel Moon kind of way, but
I haven't finished Rebel Moon.
how far along are you?
Like 15 minutes. It's okay so far, but I've heard bad things about it.
I'll let you make your own decision on it.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want to. I still have my review for it, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to say. 'Cause,
Oh, you haven't. Okay, you
anyway,
haven't put it up. Okay.
I haven't done a review yet either. I was going to do it this weekend, but I didn't get to it. Um, there are a bunch of movies from 2023 that I saw that I didn't review. I didn't review Sympathy for the Devil. I didn't review Naiad. I saw The Killer. I didn't review
Oh,
that. Um,
okay.
so I got to catch up here on the review. That's the reason why I haven't done um uh, 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 I haven't done my top 10 or 10 worst yet because there are still a couple that I want to see before I do. One of them being The Holdovers, which is now on Peacock,
I
so
want
that's
to
how I'm going to
see
see it.
that. I want to
Yeah,
see that movie. I've heard it's really good, and I believe
that
it
one.
because the trailer kind of sold me on it.
Mm-hmm. And oh, what there was a Iron Claw I still need to see.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. I got the screener. I don't
Um,
know if I'm prepared for the emotional
yeah.
investment that feels like that's going to be.
Lady Mist has found a trailer, so okay, I'll have to.
I'll probably use the trailer in my short review
Okay,
with the audio. So I'll
yeah,
be checking that out eventually.
right. YouTube won't make it a link.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Uh, well, I showed the trailer for ISS, which is a movie coming out in a couple of weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked over it and we turned the sound off, and I don't think they hit us
It
over it.
It it's
But
hard to say when that's going to happen. The only reason I know it can is because it has happened to me before, because I do live
yeah,
streams with Sound Booth Theater, the company that I work with. And
hmm
a lot of times when we're discussing a film, one of the guys that's, working on the StreamYard while we're doing our thing and he's operating, he'll pull up a trailer for what we're talking about. And one time my whole video got blocked because it was a trailer for a Japanese like anime,
hmm
and the audio was not on, I don't think, but it got blocked because the imagery was used. And I was able to, successfully get that released, but so it's hard to say. It's hard to
yeah,
predict.
it's probably best not to take a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking out the trailer to see if they give it away in the trailer. I don't know. Um, all right, I I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
No, I feel like I'm about talked out
Yeah.
for this particular movie.
Right.
I'm going to
Um,
give it another minute of time investment when I record my short review, but it's like
yeah.
I feel like
Um,
I've scraped the bottom of the barrel now.
yeah. Wait for streaming on this one, folks. Don't pay
Yes.
for it. Uh,
Yeah.
all right. Sin, what do you have coming up?
Um. Probably the short review for this.
Hmm
And I'm live streaming at 11 o'clock tonight. My son wants to do another live stream. Oh my gosh, I've
Cool.
done so many live streams lately.
Hmm.
And as far as anything beyond that, I honestly don't know, because I did so many reviews last week to try to get them done before the year was out. I don't have
hmm
any upcoming reviews. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, I will be co-hosting live from Sparkwood and 21, which is a Twin Peaks retrospective. Troy Pacelli, Netters Network, and Aged Boomer are going to be joining me, and we're going to be discussing episode 1 of season 2,
Hmm.
called "May the Giant Be with You." And if you're wondering what the hell that title means, you'll find out very quickly in the episode. Um, there's going to be a very tall, familiar face. um, that I'm sure you'll go, hey, it's that guy. Yeah. Um, so it'll be that. I am going to be the guest on this week's episode of Thursday Things with Netters Network.
Oh, yes, that's right.
hmm
Yeah.
And that'll be at 10 o'clock Eastern. And of course, I will have my weekend update immediately after. Um,
Weekend
that
update
that the weekend update.
on a Thursday.
Yeah, I know
Is
I'm
it is it
silly.
an
I'm silly that way.
Is it like an update on the upcoming weekend or the previous
Uh,
weekend?
right? No,
It's the previous.
it's the upcoming weekend. It's this little.
Oh,
I u-
okay. Then that
I
makes
used
sense. Okay.
I used to do these little shorts before I would go on live, either on my own channel or other channel. I called them pre-game shows,
Okay.
and then they would be like these little 1 or 2 minute videos. And I just decided just to amalgamate all of them into one show, and that's kind of where it evolved from.
Okay.
So that's going to be right after I'm done on Thursday Things. I'm going to go straight into it, and everybody will find out what I'm up to this upcoming weekend.
Cool.
And of course, I've got I've got a few irons in the fire, some things coming up. I do still want to do a top 10 of 2023. I'm going to be kind of like Adam over there on Your Movie Sucks. That guy is still doing like his 10 best list from 2016.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
you know, um, I don't want to turn into that. So there's a few movies I'm gonna try and get in this week, and then review them, and then I'll do my top 10 best and worst, and
Okay.
that'll be hopefully sometime this weekend.
You gonna do
And like I said,
most anticipated?
um, I am.
Okay.
I just have to. I got to formulate my list because every time. Oh, yeah, Lady V is asking
Yes.
that. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said,
Um, yeah. I am planning one. Hopefully, again, sometime this week. Uh, Last year, that was the first video that I did. Was an anticipated list, and because of all of the strikes and the schedule changes, like half of them didn't come out last year. So
mm,
I'm kind of wary about doing
yeah.
one this year. But yeah, it is in the planning stages. I just have to formulate a list.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what that is.
Indeed. And of course, you had your
I did. Yeah, that came out
anticipated
today.
list out today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody, please go over and check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. And if you're not yet subscribed to Cyns Corner, now's the time. All right. That's our thoughts on Founders Day.
Yeah.
I
So
want to,
not much more to say.
not much more to say.
No.
I would like to thank everybody in the chat: Connie Cleary, Lady Mist, Lady V Elements, Big Al Presents, The View with Drew, everyone who was watching the simulcast on Cyns channel and my Twitter feed. Hit the like, share out the stream, say hello in the comments. Did you see the movie tonight? Let us know what you thought.
Yeah. Please do.
And any guesses on what next week's movie might be?
I haven't even looked at whatever clues Regal has left.
Um,
I don't even know if they have left any clues yet.
Well, let's check that out real quick. Let me see.
I don't know when they leave these clues. So, do you just go to their Twitter or their Facebook page, or is there a particular?
They don't really say much on Twitter as far as
Okay,
giving
maybe it's their
clues to what
Facebook
it
page.
might
I
be.
know they drop hints, and people will guess and guess and guess, and sometimes they're right. You know, when you see us, when you watch a movie, it's like, oh yeah, they did accurately guess what it was.
All right,
So I don't know.
Let me.
I just know it's PG-13, and they're saying it's an hour and a half, but that's a lie, because the time they always lie on the time. No, not an hour and a half. They say it's 2.5 hours long,
2.5 hours. Yeah.
and I don't believe them because none of their times have been accurate. So you can't really
No, they're not.
ever fully predict
No.
what it's going to be. I figured that out early on. I realized they were lying to us. So,
Which is why I originally set this for 9:30 because they said this was going to be a 2-hour film, and it's not. It's about an
yeah,
hour
it was an hour and
40-ish.
46 minutes. Yeah, I found that on their Regal website for if you're going to buy a ticket, because they are accurate there. So
Oh. Okay then. Well, I don't know. You want to do this next week?
yeah, sure. I plan to go next. I was actually going to ask you if this is something maybe to that we should do, because when I'm done, I don't have anybody else to talk about it with except for my buddy that's there. But we only chat for a little bit, and then I'm still thinking about the movie, and I typically feel like I want to say something, depending on how much I liked it. That regulates how much I want to say about it. So yeah, sure, we can aim for it if you're up to that.
Oh, I'm definitely down for it.
Okay.
And
We'll
well, we
coordinate.
got and we got a little bit of a crowd tonight for the fact that we kind of sprung this review
Yes,
on people.
exactly.
And yeah, this was it was just a good thing that I happened to look at it at the site yesterday because I would not have known that there were too many movies coming in a row.
Oh yeah, I'm always looking on
2 in
my
a row.
app. So
And
I saw that they had the 1-1 and 1-8, and so I was like, oh wow, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this is.
Welcome, Enigma
Hey
Severus.
Enigma, yeah, I'm gonna be doing another live stream in like 10 minutes with my son.
Okay.
So
All right. Well,
you'll see me
let's
over
get
there.
let's get you out of here, and everybody, follow me over to Cyns Corner, and we're going to check out her live stream.
I have no idea
All
what we're going to
right.
talk about. Thank you, everybody. It's been
All
great.
righty. All right. From HQ and all points, north, south, east, and west. Good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.